$200 cash.
Wow.
For the
Yeah. So looking to the future, we might as well get started. All right, just again, if you didn't hear, everybody needs a chair. We're gonna do a little chair yoga today.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I learned some new things. What are you doing?
I'm getting a chair.
No, not yet.
Well, all right.
Unless you want to, unless you need it.
Well, no, I just thought I.
Because I said chair yoga, so you thought we were
I
gonna
thought I better
sit.
get a chair, yeah.
You know, when I started teaching chair yoga, I learned so much from the fact that chair yoga is not just sitting in a chair. I mean, there's so much more to it than just, I mean, you can, and we're going to use the chairs today and just experience something a little bit different. All right, sitting nice and comfortably, let's get started. Our focus today is on standing poses, because we don't do enough of them. I realized, I'm like, wow, most of our practice is on the floor. So sitting nice and comfortably, draw your shoulders over your hips. Place your hand on your thighs, either palm down, palm up, with relaxed fingers or thumb touching pointer finger, or place your hands in a hand mudra that you feel comfortable with. Press your chin out slightly and down towards your heart center. Take your awareness into your body and notice how you feel physically right this moment. And now take your awareness into your baba. Notice how you feel emotionally and energetically right this moment. Now move your awareness to your breath and notice how it feels as you inhale and then again as you exhale. Notice the rhythm and notice how deep you're breathing. Today's mantra is Sarvatva. Sarvatva, which means I am fulfilled. Sarvatva. And if your mind wanders, no matter how many times during our centering, just bring it back with non-judgment and love back to the mantra Sarvatva. 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 Bring your awareness slowly back to the room. Release your mantra and rest for a moment. And notice, has there been a change in your breath? A change in how deep you've been breathing, or a change in the rhythm? And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Okay, place your props to the side and come stand at the top of your mat. I guess if we were going to talk about our physical aspect of our benefits today, it would be strengthening our legs, our hips, feet, all that wonderful stuff. Standing at the top of your mat, feet are hips distance apart, feet are parallel. Shift your weight into your heels. Inhale, exhale, hands at namaste. Inhale, slowly move your hands up over your head. Exhale, bend forward into forward bend. Placing your hands just below your knees, fingers wide apart, middle finger pointing at your feet. Inhale, come halfway up into Ardha Uttanasana. Belly moves in and up towards your heart center to support your lower back. Lengthen through the crown of your head and through your sit bones. So two directions of energy, through the crown of your head and through your sit bones. Inhale, exhale, place both hands on your mat, step back into plank pose. Fingers are wide apart, middle fingers are parallel. Rotate inner elbows towards your thumbs. Inhale, exhale, release knees, shin and chest to the floor. Without a breath, release the knees and the tops of the feet. Inhale, press your sternum forward, come up into low cobra. Elbows right next to your side, so hug them in. And allow your back to do the work. Now, not forcing. Remember, we haven't done much yoga yet this morning, so coming up as high as you are is not necessarily how high you will come up later on. Exhale, rotate your toes under. Draw your hips up into downward dog. Draw your heels back and down. Stretch your calves. Rotate your inner elbows towards your thumbs. Inhale, step the right foot forward between your hands. Exhale, step your left foot forward. Inhale, come halfway up into Ardha Uttanasana, so your hands are just below your knees again. Lengthen through the crown of your head and in the opposite direction of your sit bones, creating space between your vertebrae. Inhale, exhale, release down into forward bend. Inhale, sweep your arms wide up over your head. And exhale, hands at namaste. Inhale, exhale, bring your hands to your navel, interlacing your fingers, pointer finger together, thumb together. Inhale forward, all the way up over your head. Press those thighs forward. Exhale, bend forward into forward bend. Inhale, squat in Malasana with namaste hands. Exhale, straighten your legs into forward bend. Inhale, step your right foot back into low lunge with warrior arms. So the back right foot is released and you're pressing into the floor with that. Tuck that foot. Exhale, step your left foot back into downward dog. Inhale, release your knees to the mat. How's pose? Exhale, drift back and down into child's pose. Inhale, move your shoulders forward along your mat into high cobra. Exhale, rotate your toes under, lift your hips into downward dog. Inhale, step your right foot forward between your hands, squeegee that left foot back in low lunge with warrior arms. Exhale, step your left foot forward into forward bend. Inhale, squat in Malasana with Namaste hands. Exhale, straighten your legs into forward bend. Inhale, sweep your arms wide up over your head into a back bend. Bring up that energy. And exhale, hands at Namaste. Inhale. Exhale, release your hands to your navel. Inhale, straight forward, all the way up over your head. Exhale, bend forward into forward bend. Inhale, squat in Malasana with Namaste hands. Exhale, straighten your legs into forward bend. Inhale, step your left foot back as far as you can in low lunge with warrior arms. Exhale, step your right foot back into downward dog. Inhale, release your knees to the mat in cow's pose. Exhale, drift back and down into child's pose. Inhale, move your shoulders forward along your mat into high cobra. Exhale, rotate your toes under, raise your hips into downward dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward between your hands in low lunge with warrior arms. Exhale, step your right foot forward into forward bend. Inhale, squat in Malasana, Namaste hands. Exhale, straighten your legs into forward bend. Inhale, sweep your arms wide up over your head into a back bend. Exhale, hands at Namaste. Take the base of your thumbs, place them at your third eye. Elbows straight out, eyes closed. And take your awareness into your body. And just observe. Observe your breath. Observe your heartbeat if you can locate it. Maybe you can feel it in your ears. Maybe you can feel it somewhere else. And exhale, hands at Namaste. Inhale, sweep your arms wide up over your head. Exhale, bend at the knee and at the hips and bring your booty behind you. Weight is shifted into your heels. Knees are tracking over your feet. Don't let them come together. You're feeling a little tweakiness in the back. Tuck your tailbone. Draw your belly in and up towards your heart center. Utkatasana or chair pose. Exhale, bend forward into forward bend. Inhale, come halfway up into Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, place both hands on your mat, step back into plank pose. Inhale. Exhale, release knees, shin and chest to the floor. Without a breath, release your knees and the tops of your feet. Inhale, press your sternum forward, come up into low cobra. Now the question is, are you able to come up a little more than you did before since we're so warmed up? Exhale, rotate your toes under, lift your hips up into downward dog. And let's just hang out here for just a second. The first set of standing poses are hips forward standing poses, and then we're going to go to hips open. Inhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. Right knee is over right ankle. Bring the left foot in just slightly and angle that foot slightly out towards the outside of your mat. And what that does is it allows both hips to face forward. All right, two ways to come up. The first way is you can place your hands on your thighs and raise up, or you can really work on core, where you visualize roots growing into your mat. You root down and the earth gives you back energy. As you inhale, sweep your arms wide and come up to standing, which is Proud Warrior 1. Now press into the outside of the left heel and the left foot. Check, look down, and is your right knee bent over the ankle, but encourage it out towards the right side, the little toe on the right foot. Now, yes, this is hips forward, and the purpose of this pose is not neutral hips because of the way the feet or the legs are placed. So the left hip is back a little bit. Inhale, exhale, release your arms, straighten your right leg. In the next pose is pyramid pose, and you can place your hands several different ways. You can do reverse namaste, which is palms facing each other. Let's see if I can do it today. Yeah. You can do it this way, or you can grab your elbows or your forearms or your wrists or whatever works best for you, whichever you're feeling. All right, hands by your side. Let's come into it together. Inhale, raise your hands up, shoulder height. Exhale, bring your hands behind you. Rotate the middle or the front of your collarbones up and back to open up your chest a little more. This is a slight twist. So we're gonna, in a second, we're gonna inhale, lengthen up and come over the front leg. So inhale, lengthen up through your sternum. Exhale, bend over with a straight torso over the right leg. Now rotate that right hip back towards the left heel. All right, shoulders back. Don't allow either one to slouch forward, down, even though the gravity wants to pull on them or is pulling on them. Don't allow them to go downward. Draw them back. So we're strengthening the upper back. Inhale. Exhale, bend the right knee, place your hands on your mat and step back into plank pose. Wow, taking those hips and legs in different position. Inhale, release your knees to the mat. Cow's pose. Place your toes together, widen your knees, and exhale, drift back and down into child's pose. So the first question is, or maybe the only question. Do your hips feel the same? And the only correct answer is what you're feeling. So since we had the right leg forward, the right hip may feel a little differently than the left. Maybe a little tighter since we work those muscles. Maybe in the glutes. If you don't feel any of that, that's fine. The perfect resting pose. Come up onto your forearms, rotate your toes under, bring your knees together. Back into, let's do traditional child's pose. Traditional child's pose is knees together. Arms are out in front of you. Head is off the mat. Now draw your arm bones or the upper part of your arm bones into your shoulder joint. Inhale, move your shoulders forward along your mat into high cobra. Exhale, rotate your toes under, lift your hips up into downward dog. Inhale, step your left foot forward between your hands. Left knee is over left ankle. Bring the right foot in just slightly and angle it out towards the outside of your mat. Again, you can place your hands on your thighs and come up, whichever you prefer. You're still working muscles. Or root down into your mat. Inhale, sweep your arms wide up over your head and come up into Proud Warrior Virabhadrasana on the other side. Left knee is bent over and not in front of your ankle. So be very mindful of that. And draw that left knee out towards the left toe, left little toe. Lengthen up. This is a slight back bend. And breathe.
Feel that on the right calf.
In your right calf.
Nice good stretch.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Inhale. Exhale, release your arms. Straighten that left leg. And you might have to reposition your feet just to make sure. Here, bring your right heel back towards the back of your mat a little more. And yeah, you're gonna have to rearrange your, there you
My
go.
whole body.
There, we're closing up your hips a little bit, so they're both facing forward. All right, decide how you want to place your hands. One side tends to be different than the other. I don't know if the base or from the hip waist down it has an effect on your shoulders or your arms. Inhale, arms up shoulder height. Exhale, bring your hands behind you. Rotate the front of your collarbones up and back. Again, inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, bend over the left leg. Draw the outside of your left hip towards your right heel. Neck is in line with your spine, so don't allow that head to droop. Don't allow your shoulders to droop. Draw them back evenly. Inhale. Exhale, release your knees, place your hands on the floor, step back, or on your mat, step back into plank pose. Every time we do those standing poses, it always feels like something releases when you come into downward dog or plank pose. Inhale, release your knees to the mat, and drift back and down into child's pose. So now the question again is, do your hips feel the same? As what? What? All right, let me rephrase that question. Does your left hip feel the same as your right hip? Do they feel the same? Left side feel the same as the right side? And the only correct answer is what you're feeling. Come up onto your forearms, rotate your toes under, bring your knees closer together. Inhale, move your shoulders forward along your mat in high cobra. Exhale, rotate your toes under, lift your hips up into downward dog. Inhale, step the right foot forward between your hands. Exhale, step your left foot forward. Inhale, sweep your arms wide up over your head. And exhale, hands in, namaste. Grab your chair. Grab a chair.
See, I couldn't have grabbed it before.
Well, you could have, yeah. I thought maybe you were gonna sit in it.
No.
Here's our chair pose.
Yeah.
Chair yoga.
Chair poses.
You hate chair poses?
Yeah,
Well, it's good for working on
Must be.
balance.
must be good for me.
Well,
That's what my mother always said.
that's true. If you don't like it, it's gotta be good for you, right?
Uh-huh.
That's very true.
Yeah, she was a very tough.
In a lot of ways. Yes, yes. Okay. The purpose of the chair is to help us with our balance. This is a pose that we don't do very often. It's called Proud Warrior 3. It is a hips forward pose. It's good for balancing, good for strengthening the legs and the hips. So standing in Tadasana, you know, they say there's the Tadasana pose in every pose. So starting out with our feet hips distance apart. Shift your weight. Oh, let's make sure we set up our feet correctly. Press evenly in the base of the big toe, the little toe, in the middle of your heel. And your weight is in the heel. So you can pick your toes up. Okay, shift your weight into your right foot. Raise the left one straight back and up. All right, now you can stay here if you'd like. And also, before we go any further, hips are neutral, so don't allow this one to rotate up. They're neutral. They're even, pressing through the heel of the left foot. Now, the next step is to bring your arms forward. Or you can do one at a time. Or, yeah, one at a time. Whichever you want to work on. Somebody told, or put them both on the chair. And hold on to them. Whatever works for you. Oh, also be careful that your right hip doesn't shift to the right. Yep, mine did that too. That's why I just cued that. Is that hip tends to shift to the right, so press a little more into the base of the little toe. Inhale, exhale, release. Walk it out. All right, the next side, the other side. Standing in Tadasana again. Feet are hips distance apart. Your feet are parallel. So how do you decide, since our feet are not straight, how do you decide what's parallel? Well, your heels are in line with your toes. In other words, if I take my heels and bring them closer together, then my feet are not parallel. My heels are closer, my feet go outward. If I bring them out a little farther, then I'm like pigeon-toed. So make sure that your heels are in line with your toes, and that way your feet are parallel. All right, shift your weight into your left foot. Remember, heel of the left foot. Bring the right one straight back and up. And again, you can hang on to your chair. You can just bring your arms forward. One side may feel easier than the other, depending on balance. And also remember that if you're using your chair, the reason is that it helps you feel comfortable and grounded. There's nothing wrong with that. Inhale and exhale, release. Okay, set your chairs to the side because we're not done with them. And come back and stand at the top of your mat. Now we move on to hips open pose. What was that? You don't want to do that?
Yes, absolutely.
I thought that was what you would.
That's why I'm here.
Well, of course. Oh, let's all go back to bed.
Sounds good.
All right, standing with your feet hips distance apart. Let's do traditional mountain pose. What pose does this remind you of?
Shavasana.
Shavasana, yes.
Standing up.
A little Tadasana in all poses, a little Tadasana in Shavasana. Okay, inhale, exhale, hands at namaste. Inhale, sweep your arms wide up over your head. Exhale, bend forward into forward bend. Inhale, come up halfway into Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, place both hands on your mat. Listen, step back into downward dog. Something different. Not plank pose, but downward dog. Inhale, release your knees to the mat in cow's pose. Exhale, drift back and down into child's pose. Inhale, move your shoulders forward along your mat into high cobra. Exhale, rotate your toes under, draw your hips up into downward dog. Inhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. Right knee is over right ankle. Here's where the difference is. Rotate the left foot so it's parallel with the back of the mat. And notice what your left hip does. It moves back or opens up towards the back of your mat. Now, press evenly on the, or press a little more on the outside of the left foot so that you're not compromising your arch. Place your right hand on your right thigh. Inhale, sweep the left arm forward all the way around and come up into Proud Warrior 2. We're doing all of the Proud Warriors today. All right, rotate the front of your collarbones up and back and notice what the left arm does. Look down towards your right knee. Draw that right knee towards the little toe.
So much to think about.
I know. And you know what's interesting, when you practice long enough and you have all put patterns into your body, there are things you automatically do. So then you focus on those things you have not focused on before. So inhale, lengthen up, straighten that right leg. Exhale, lengthen forward as far as you can. Bring that right hand down into triangle pose or Utthita Trikonasana. And remember, don't go down too far so that your torso is not in line with your right leg. So come up a little bit. Carol, come up just a little bit. All right, now draw your chest back. Whoa, sorry. Come up just a little bit more. Okay, now draw this part here back towards my hand. Okay, and your shoulder back. There you go. That's a little more good. All righty. Bring the pose to you, because if you go up, say your goal is to touch your toes in this pose, and you go all the way down, and then your torso's in front of that right leg, you're closing off your nadis. Inhale, horrors. Exhale, bring the left arm back and down, bend the right knee. We're not used to this, are we?
Right. I listened to the commentary over here.
Right arm on right thigh. Inhale, left arm forward all the way up over your ear. Straight arm. And also let me remind you that if you feel like you need to rest and have had enough, go ahead and do that and then celebrate what you've already done today. This is side angle stretch. I think it's called Parsvakonasana. Right knee is over right ankle. Exhale, bring the left arm forward and down. Straighten that right leg. Place your right hand on your right leg. Inhale, sweep the left arm back and up. We won't stay very long in this one. Exhale, sweep the left arm back and down, bend the right knee. Inhale, left arm forward all the way around, and right arm comes up. Inhale. Exhale, rotate forward, place both hands on your mat, step back into plank pose. Inhale. Release your knees to the mat in cow's pose. So rotate your sit bones up. Maybe you need a little stretch around the muscles in the sit bones. Look up, broaden your chest. Now place your toes together, widen your knees, and drift back and down into child's pose. And think about the energy that you're exchanging in this pose. That's what the earth does. When you're close, like we are here, your body exchanges energy. So if you're low in energy, the earth gives it to you. If you have too much, it takes it. And it does it in relationship to the chakras. Move on to your forearms, rotate your toes under, bring your knees together into child's pose. Inhale, move your shoulders forward along your mat into Pot Cobra. Exhale, rotate your toes under, lift your hips up into Downward Dog. Just hang out here for a second. Inhale, step your left foot forward between your hands. Left knee is over left ankle. Rotate the right foot so it's parallel with the back of the mat. And so now our hips are open on the right side. Press evenly or press a little more on the outside of the right foot than on the inside so that you don't collapse that arch. Left knee over left ankle again. Place your left hand on your left thigh. Inhale, sweep the right arm forward all the way around and come up into Proud Warrior 2 on the other side. Look down at your knee. Does your knee move out toward the little toe? And what that is, it's a lengthening on the inside of the thigh, a shortening on the outside of the thigh. Brings it where it's supposed to be, opens it up like it's supposed to. Rotate the front of your collarbones up and back. Opening that chest, look over your left shoulder. Don't let anybody sneak up on you. Inhale, lengthen up, straighten that left leg. Exhale, lengthen forward and bring that left hand onto that left leg. Right hand comes up, straight up out of the shoulder, palms facing in the direction that you're looking. And remember, not too far down so that you're in front of your left leg. Utthita Trikonasana or triangle pose. Inhale, exhale, sweep the right arm back and down, bend your left knee. Place your left hand on your left thigh. Inhale, right arm forward and up over your ear. So draw that shoulder back, open up, look up underneath that arm. Inhale, exhale, sweep your right arm down, straighten the left leg. Place your left hand on your left leg. Inhale, sweep the right arm back and straight up. Inhale, exhale, sweep the right arm back and down, bend your left knee. Inhale, right arm forward all the way around and bring your left arm up in play. Also look down to make sure that left knee is over the little toe. Inhale, exhale, rotate forward. Place both hands on your mat and step back into plank pose. Inhale, release your knees to the mat. In cow's pose. I'd like to say we're almost done, but we just have a couple more to do.
We don't.
Toes together, knees apart. And we have lots of time left in yoga too. Exhale, you're backing down into child's pose. So shall we do some head stands?
No.
Shoulder stands? I have a hard time getting my rear end off the floor or away from the floor. That's what? Oh, I wish my hearing aids worked better than they did. I know that was funny. Come up onto your forearms, rotate your toes under, bring your knees closer together. Come back into child's pose. Inhale, move your shoulders forward along your mat into cobra. Exhale, rotate your toes under, lift your hips up into downward dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward between your hands. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Inhale, sweep your arms wide up over your head. And exhale, hands at namaste. All right, grab your chairs again. I'm going to slide back just a little bit. And then I'm going to slide the other direction when we do it the other way. You don't have to move, but I need to. All right, rotate your chair so that the seat part is close to you. The next pose is Ardha Chandrasana 2, which is a balancing, leg strengthening, ankle strengthening, hip strengthening. We're going to do it two different ways. First way, we're going to use the chair. And we have never done this before. And I did it for the first time with a chair on Tuesday and noticed something's different. So, all right. And for this one, for this pose, there's two ways that you can come into this pose. Most of the time we come in from the floor up. Today, in the beginning, it's going to be up from up into it. So standing into Tadasana. Bend over, place your hands on the seat. All right. Inhale, raise your right leg straight back and up. And then rotate your right hip and stack it on your left. So open up the hips, bring it back, press through the right heel. Now take your left arm, bend the left elbow, place the elbow underneath your left shoulder, and your arm is on the chair facing the direction that you're looking, which is to your right. All right, you can stay here, or the next one is to bring your right arm straight up. right arm hand, the palm of your right arm is facing the direction that you're looking. Also, open it up and bring your head in line with your spine. So straighten, inhale, exhale, release. Something a little different. I don't know, I felt a little more supported in this one than with bricks. Although I like doing it better with the bricks, but all right, I'm switching ends. You don't have to. That's why I can spy on you. All right, standing in Tadasana again. Facing your chair. Nice chairs, aren't they? All right, bend forward and place your hands on your chair. And while we're here, remember Tadasana feet. So let's see, think about what you remember and what we've done already today with Tadasana feet. All right, inhale, hold it. Inhale, yes, move the left back and up. I don't know, my body wanted to do the right.
You switch.
I have now. Left leg back and up. You're facing forward towards the floor. Stack left on top of right hip. Place your elbow underneath your shoulder. And what I kind of like is I have something to grip my arm with. Now you can stay here if you'd like, or stack left shoulder on top of right and lengthen your left hand out of your left shoulder. Straight line between left fingertips down to your elbow. And when you're ready, go ahead and release. Wow. Okay, we're done with the chair. No more chair yoga today for Carol. Yay!
When we do pigeon chair pose in it.
Is what?
Pigeon pose in it.
Oh, yeah, you can do pigeon.
Yeah.
Have you done pigeon before?
Yeah, in the chair.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one to me seems a little more strenuous than on the floor, but I mean, we could try it sometime. Sure.
You get a good stretch.
You do a very good stretch. That's what we should do next week is how many different ways can you do pigeon pose? All right, grab both your bricks. This time we're going to start on the right side. Place your bricks in the front. And let's come down on our mound into child's pose. Less energy, just come on down into child's pose, right? We won't vinyasa down into it. We'll just go down. All right. We'll have to do a little bit. Inhale, move your shoulders forward along your mat into high cobra. Exhale, rotate your toes under, lift your hips up into downward dog. Now at this point, if you're tired and want to rest, please do, because you should be balanced. Inhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. And you're on the back of the toes of your left foot. Grab your bricks. One in each hand. Shift your weight into your right foot. Straighten the right leg and lift your left one up. Now stack left on top of right. And you can just stay here like this. Or the next step, well, before we do that though, check where your right brick is. It should be off the little toe of your right foot. Okay, left hip stacked on right. Place your left hand on your left hip. You can stay here, or the next step is left straight up out of left shoulder. So there's close to a straight line between your right wrist and the tips of your left hand. And then if you really can do it, look up towards the ceiling. That's where balance really comes into play. Yeah, oh, good. All right, inhale, exhale, release. Down into child's pose. Cow's pose and then child's pose. Last standing pose and then we're done. You have cramps?
No.
Place your knees wide. Toes together, knees wide, and then come down. You need a little bit of stretch in those glutes and those hips. Maybe we should do a little pigeon pose today. Didn't have it planned, but it might work. Come up onto your forearms, rotate your toes under, bring your knees together. We're just going into downward dog. So come up into tabletop pose. Exhale, rotate your toes under, lift your hips up into downward dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward between your hands. I try to make sure that my foot is close to the front of my mat so my bricks are not on my mat. Because invariably they would be like half on and half off. So they're either on or all the way off, one of the two. All right, place both hands on your bricks. You're on the back of your toes of your right foot. Shift your weight into your left heel and raise the right leg up. All right, left brick is off the little toe of your left foot. Stack right hip on top of left. Now you can stay here, or next step is to place your right hand on your right hip. And then a step after that is lengthen that arm straight up. Working on balance too. Oh no. Got a collapsible brick. And if you can, rotate your head towards the ceiling. Okay, when you're ready, come on out. And step back into downward dog. Let's do a little bit of pigeon pose and stretch out those hips and your glutes. Now, if you go ahead and release your knees for right this second. If you have a problem with this pose, here's what you can do on the floor. Well, let's just do it on the floor. As you get just as good a stretch. All right. Rotate and sit on the floor with your knees bent. Yeah, let's do it this way. It still is effective. All right, hands at your hips. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, come down on your forearms. Draw your elbows towards your hips and come all the way down. This is less work. Okay. Now, the nice thing about this pose is that you bring the pose to you and the floor is not a hindrance. Okay, cross right leg or take the right ankle and place it on the left top of the left thigh. Now, this is important. Right hand goes on the knee. So the palm of your right hand is on your knee. In your left hand, as you bring that leg towards you, so now my left leg is drawing the right leg towards me, place your left hand on the arch of your right foot. That's important. Not on your toes, not on your heel, but in the arch. All right. Draw your left knee towards you and push gently on the right knee away from you. And then draw that right foot towards you. And the nice thing about the left leg is that you control how much pressure you put on the working leg, on the right leg in this situation. Also, check your left foot. Is it flexed?
No.
It should be flexed. Now notice, a little awareness of energy. Relax the left foot, just let it go. What do you notice about the energy of your pose now?
My butt still hurts.
It goes away a little bit. All right, now press into the left heel. And what do you notice about the energy? Yep, it comes up. All right, inhale, exhale, release. Release the right foot to the floor. Place left, outside of left ankle on top of right thigh. Left palm of the hand is on the right knee. Left foot is flexed also. Draw your right knee towards you and place your right hand in the arch of your foot. And flex the right foot. Now draw your left knee gently away from you as the right knee presses towards you. Stretches the glutes, the muscles of the hips, your hamstrings, the muscles of the outside of the thighs. And go ahead and release. Let's take our body in a different plane of yoga. Arms straight out, knees bent. Cross right leg over left, no space. Press into the left foot, raise those hips up. Rotate the right hip up, the left down, and set the back of your left hip on the floor. Inhale. Exhale, release your knees to the left and look to your right. Press the right shoulder down and think about where you feel this. You might feel it in your shoulder blades. Might feel it in the shoulder, in the right side of your ribs, in the glutes, or in the hips. This is another one of my favorite poses. Inhale, bring your knees up, reposition your hips, uncross the right leg, cross left over right. Press into the right foot, raise your hips, rotate left up, right down, and set the back of your right thigh on your mat. Inhale. Exhale, release your knees to the right and look to your left. Now the question is the stretch on this side in the same place as on the other side? You're going to get stretch where you need it. It's kind of like what the stretch pants for turkey for Thanksgiving Day. There you go. That's what we need. And for Christmas. We all need stretch pants. Yoga pants. Let's all wear yoga pants from now on.
That's what everybody's doing anyway.
That's true. Not me though. Like they're not warm enough.
Not me either.
All right, inhale. Bring your knees back up. Reposition your hips. Uncross left over right. Press into your heels, raise your hips, shift them to the left and roll completely onto your right side. And now slowly press up into a comfortable seated position. Now we have time for a little more time. Stretching the muscles of the hips, the knees, the legs. Place the bottom of your feet together. Walk your sit bones towards your heels as you hold onto your toes. Now remember that you hold your legs in the place that allows you to keep a straight torso. So if I grabbed my toes and I was bent over like this and my shoulders are up by my ears, but yet, hey, I got my toes, my nadis are not in line. So we want to grab your legs, even if it's your ankles, lengthen up through the crown of your head. And what you feel is when you do that, your chest comes forward, your ribs move up, and your nadis line up. Now, why is it so important to have nadis lined up? Because it allows the energy in your body to flow more freely. And when the energy in your body flows freely, you are healthier. All right, place your hands behind your knees, lengthen your legs out. And again, the same idea as far as straight torso. Hands at your hips. Inhale, sweep your arms up over your head. Exhale, leading with your chest, come forward. No, you're not in it. Am I getting you back for that comment you made? Keep your head in line with your spine. So don't allow that head to droop. And what's happening is when you keep your head in line with your spine, you are empowering and strengthening the muscles in the back of the neck. And that helps with dowager's hump. You want strong muscles in the neck and in the upper back to prevent dowager's hump. Inhale, come forward, come all the way up, and exhale, release. Grab your legs, bring them together. Move your glutes out from your sit bones. And let's just sit for just a second. You all need to pat yourself on the back, give yourself a hug. You did a great job today. You really worked hard, put great patterns in your muscles. All right, here we go. Hands at your hips. Last pose before Shavasana. Inhale, sweep your arms up over your head. Exhale, lengthen up and forward and place your hands wherever they belong right now. So again, check. If your hands are just below your knees and you can bring that chest forward and your shoulders release from your ears, that's where you should be. If you walk down farther and you find, uh-oh, I'm beginning to collapse in the ribs and my shoulders are forward and up by my ears, then you've gone too far. Remember to keep your head in line with your spine. So don't allow it to go downwards. Don't bring it up and look up. Inhale, press forward, come all the way up. Exhale, release. Let's get ready for Shavasana. So remember that when you come down, you're going to have bent knees to take the strain off your lower back. Place your pillow right next to, or your blanket right next to you, so that you're not coming down on it. Knees bent, feet flat on the floor so that we take strain off. Place your pillow to the side before you come down. And you're going to want to come this way a little bit, because otherwise your head's going to hit the wall. There you go. All right. Hands at your hips. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, come all the way down. Slowly. And then place your blanket and or your pillow underneath your head. Arms are at an angle from your body. Remember our standing Tadasana that we did earlier in class. And with each breath, notice how your body relaxes and releases. So as you inhale, you expand. And then as you exhale, your body relaxes and becomes a little heavier, which is okay. It means that you're relaxing. Today we did a great job of strengthening the feet, the ankles, the legs, the hips. the arms, I think the whole body we worked on today. So take this time to allow your inner awareness to take in the patterns of yoga that we've given ourselves today. Rest, relax, and release. Bring your awareness slowly back to the room. Slowly move your fingers and your toes. Make circles with your hands and with your feet. Bend your knees, draw your heels toward your sit bones. Press into your heels, raise your hips, shift them to the right, and roll completely onto your left side. And when you're ready, slowly press up into a comfortable seated position, bringing your head up last. You guys did a great job of working hard today. By the way, good morning, Amy. Good morning, Terry. Glad to have you both with us today. All right. Sitting nice and comfortably. Place your hands at namaste. Press your sternum into your thumbs and your thumbs into your sternum. Move your chin out slightly and down toward your heart center. Check to make sure that it was only your head that moved and not your shoulders, so that you're not slumping forward, but your shoulders are up and back. Take your awareness into your body and notice how you feel physically right this moment as compared to the beginning of class. Now take your awareness into your baba. Notice how you feel emotionally and energetically right this moment as compared to the beginning of class. Inhale all the way to the base of your throat. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, everybody. That felt wonderful.
It was a great.
It was so powerful.